Hey, this is Josh with LostInReviews.com, and I'm with Clay Hughes and the What. If you guys could go around and introduce yourselves, tell me about how you guys got involved, how this all started.
How's it going? I'm Clay Hughes.
I'm Zach Haddock.
And I am Tony Beats.
Actually, Clay was playing as a solo act probably about, 5-6 years ago. And I was referred to him by a friend, being that he was in need of a bass player. And through that, we started playing together. And Tony and we've been playing together for, 11, 12 years. And so I said, hey, I know a DJ, and I think we could do something different and cool, and referred him to Clay. And Clay, we got together and we started playing, the three of us.
And how many years has it been for you, Clay? How long have you been performing?
Probably right around 5 years, 6 years. I started playing live.
I'm sorry. What's the most discouraging part, and what makes it all worth it?
Most discouraging part?
Yeah.
Playing for nobody, or
Really?
3 or 4 people. I don't know. It's rough because you put so much into practice and getting everything right. Then when you get excited for a show and there's like 4 or 5 people there, or you're in a new market or whatever, I'd say it's pretty discouraging. I mean, I'm not like the money part or anything like that. It's playing for nobody.
Pure
It's rough.
passion at this point.
Yeah.
That's why I love these type of interviews.
Yeah.
We're all
definitely.
rugged.
We don't do it for money, but it's like Clay said, it's we get so excited and we want everybody else to be excited about it, and then when you get there and it's just a crappy venue or an off night, and the people aren't into it, and it's just brings you down. It's kind of like
At the same time, we started out trying to play for literally nobody, except the bartenders and bouncers. And maybe people aren't getting it. Eventually you start continuing to play those shows, and one thing we always hear is that you guys look like you're having a good time up there while you're playing. We hear that all the time. And it's finally gotten to that point we realize that, a few more and more people start to come out and check it out, and that's it makes it more fun. So
Yeah. Well, fuck, that's absolutely true. When I saw you guys, what, been 3-4 weeks ago? How long has it been? Yeah, guys, fuck, that was a fun-ass show because it was almost like band practice. You know what I mean? It still has got that childlike energy to it. It's all pure and good. And I remember I had a conversation with you, and it was like you just didn't bullshit me. Like when you meet most band members, it's like this business side of things. Like you're still the enemy, and I'm gonna talk to you like the enemy as a journalist, and it's like fucking frustrating. I'm definitely not TMZ, but yeah, I want to know.
not?
Not yet. Fuck, dude. Now I'll say, how would you guys describe your music though? Because I go through loops when I'm describing it to other people. It's like rap, but bluesish with a little bit of blues. What would you guys say?
I like to say hip-hop, bass, blues, and rock music for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to put a label on it, I'd just say, we're just 3 different guys with 3 different influences, and we just get together and we play. There's not a lot of thought into it. It's like you said, we just get up there and we have fun. And what comes out is what comes out. I mean,
I'm sure sometimes we have probably too much fun. It's probably the hardest thing. We get up there and I don't know. Tony's probably a little irritated with me and Zach sometimes. But I mean, that's all. But it's still fun. Like we have fun with everything we do up there, whether it's inside jokes or whatever. Sometimes the worst is when we're on stage and try to tell an inside joke to the crowd and they just don't respond at all. But
Crickets.
I mean, we still laugh, so that's what's important.
Okay, well, for hip hop and rap, and my biggest question for this genre is what happened to it? Like, how do you guys feel about it? Like, what turned into, gangster rap and that mentality of that get rich or die trying, killing and slapping bitches, all that, which is, to me, it's very ignorant. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, being a part, or growing up, I guess, early 90s, somewhat. I mean, gangster rap was around, and it was, I mean, there's still some that's good. I'm a big Tupac fan, but I think there's too many people that associate all of hip-hop or all of rap with gangster rap, and that's just not it's not true. It's not the case. There's a lot more out there.
I think nowadays, if you look at some of the original groups back in the day, and I'm going to go all the way back to maybe the Beastie Boys, influence and putting everything in there. You look at literally any type of music you see today, there's a hip hop element floating in there somewhere. So I don't think what we're doing is necessarily, groundbreaking, but at the same time is something palatable. It's combining a lot of musics. I mean, like Zach said, we have a lot of different backgrounds that we come from. Myself is old school hip hop. Zach comes from more of a, I guess you say, punk. And
That's a fucking genre.
And Clay, as ballroom dancing and country music roots,
Nice.
and it's just a mixture of stuff. And I think a lot of different types of bands and different music combine all different types of styles. I think we're the same way in that aspect. It's just we happen to get together and somehow get on the same page and then create whatever we do on stage and even in practice on the tracks that we make. So
Okay, well, then why choose, I feel like the popular music today is that repetitive rap, like the chorus, the hook, it's all this for catching. It's not really even saying anything. Why go for the more ballsy route of making art instead?
I can't speak to what other people do, because in reality, if anyone's out there and they're making their living and they're doing music, I mean, good for them. But for us, and if you've seen some of our shows, we love to bring live hip hop lyricists on stage, and we only pick the guys that we feel that we like, that not necessarily gangster or not. If they have lyrics and they can deliver and they can perform live on the fly, that's important to me, and I think it translates to us too. So we'll work with that any time. I don't know how to really explain.
As a collective, we don't really consider ourselves in the rap genre. We tie in well with it, and we have a lot of friends in the rap genre, but I mean, we don't really consider ourselves a rap act. Yeah, I mean, we kind of like to think that we transcend a lot of different genres. I mean,
And I would definitely agree. That's why I was talking about that. The borders of where your guys' genres begin and end, it's almost blurred, that's what I love about you guys. Okay, and now I wanted to ask you about Mr. Dylan. When I heard that song, it really blew me away. The 60s were such a big part of me, to me, and what Bob Dylan did. I want to know why you wrote that. You were the one that wrote that, right?
Yeah. Thank you, first of all.
Were you really going for a political reference that, what the world's like today versus back then, or what were you aiming at? I'm curious to know.
Basically, the backbone to it was I felt like I couldn't write a political song. I wasn't either knowledgeable enough, or I hate getting into politics. I don't know enough about it, and there's a lot of it that I don't really
think politicians do either.
care about. Yeah. But it was a thing that there wasn't anybody around like Bob Dylan at the time when I wrote that. There was nobody doing political songs, and I wasn't going to write one. But the point of it was saying there needs to be someone. Where is Bob Dylan now? And I mean,
fucking heartfelt.
Thanks.
Let me move on to something less serious and more passionate. Tell me each in your own words, what's your favorite part about playing live?
Man, probably the people dancing. I think again it goes back to kind of us blending genres and doing stuff. It's tricky sometimes to get people to listen to what we're doing, but when we play live, we can always get people dancing. Mm-hmm. I think that's my favorite thing about it.
For me, it's just that moment when it all clicks in. I look at Tony, and the beat's on. I look at Clay, and we're all in sync. And then you look out across the crowd, and they're in sync too. And I can't describe it. It's just such a unity. Just transcends across everything. It's good.
I'd follow Zach there. It's that one little moment that you look at. Actually, for me, even at the same bars we play when there's 3 people watching us, it's that moment you look together, because a lot of our stuff is improvised a lot. We jam out on our own songs and kind of make stuff up on the fly a lot. And it's even when we do that and it all kind of comes together, it looks good. We all kind of look at each other like, yeah, all right, we got it. And if you look, especially those crowds, when there's people there, you can see that they get it too. And they can tell a lot of times that these guys are doing something. This is not rehearsed. It's very organic. And that's what I dig about it.
Awesome. Okay. I want to ask you, set your goals. Each of you, what would you guys like to accomplish in the future with this group or individually with music?
I don't know. I think right now it's just trying to get to get more people to hear us. I think trying to explain what we do to people, they don't quite get it, but it's getting those people out to hear us live. Is the main thing. I don't care if they pay us $1,000 or $20 for the night. If there's 200 people there listening to us, I mean that's gonna be the best part about it.
For me personally, and I know it's in contradiction to what I said earlier, it's just playing. I mean, we've done it long enough, and my favorite part, honestly, is loading up in the van and we head out on the road. And honestly, the 50% of the fun is the three of us in the van traveling there, and 50% of the fun is when we get up on stage and we just give it our all, and then come back and we return home and we've got great stories, and we've got that's why I do it. I'm in it for that, and if we do anything more than that, awesome. But that's what I'm in it for.
For me, it's playing live all the time. I really don't even interest myself in a lot of things. I take pride in help making the stuff with these guys, which is easy to do with someone like Zach, who I consider the greatest bass player that I've ever known. And a natural talent like Clay, it's easy and fun to do what I do, the little part that I can do for these guys, and make it a whole thing. So for me, it's just maybe doing more music and having people look back 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know what? Those guys did some really cool shit at the time. So.
Walk me through the creative process you guys go through when you're making music. Like tonight, you guys said you were working on some new shit. So could you walk me through it? How does that go?
It's literally as easy as one of us either having a bass line or a guitar riff or some basic lyrics or chorus or a beat or a rhythm or something. One of us brings one thing to the table, and then the next one vibes on that, and then we just kind of jam out on songs for a long time and eventually condense them down to what you eventually hear on like our CD.
It's creation by accident. I mean, Tony plays a beat and Clay and I start playing, and we all nod and say that's it. It's like that moment we have on stage.
Once again, organic.
Yeah, it's like the moment we have on stage. It's just like that's it. We're on to something, and I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Trying to write before I started playing with these guys was always frustrating because when you are trying to judge yourself or edit or critique yourself, it's really difficult. But when you work with two other people, especially these guys, and like Tony said, it could be any of us starting something. It could be a bass line, it could be the beat, it could be a acoustic part I come up with, but it's different every time. So
okay, well, I want to go on the Facebook, on the Clay Hughes Facebook. There's this quote, and I think quotes are the best way to find out who people are. So I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to tell me why this quote. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, because I'm going to burn one down. Ben Harper said that. Why to pick that quote?
Wow. There's obvious reasons, but of course it goes back to I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't think any of us purposely go out and try to offend people, but we're all our own people. We try to do our own thing. And if you don't like that or don't accept that, you don't have to be around that. But we're not out to offend anybody or go against anybody or make this a competition.
Sometimes there's no way avoiding to offend. Someone's always going to be offended. Mostly critics, because they have a big stick up their ass.
Right.
Okay. And if you guys, per se, somebody wanted to find your music, what would be the best way of doing that?
Our website, which Mr. Zach here has updated recently. It looks good. It's just clayhughesmusic.com.
And any upcoming shows that people should know about?
Upcoming shows. We've got the next couple weeks are really big for us. This weekend, April 15th and 16th, we're doing 2 shows with Johnny Polygon and George Watsky, both big internet hip-hop acts right now.
And they can find the details on your website?
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Of course, Johnny Polygon's been working with Kid Cudi, Nas, Adele.
Really?
George Watsky is, he had his internet video on YouTube, which blew up, and it's got over 9 million views within the last couple months.
Awesome.
And then the cool thing about that is in the next weekend, we're doing 2 shows with bands that are completely different. Antennas Up, which is the local band, and then Tonka, which is another local band. And that's going to be in Pittsburg and at the Record Bar here in Kansas City.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your time. It's been a good interview, a lot of fun. This is Josh with Lost in Reviews. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and special thanks to Bill O'Reilly. Take care.